Hey guys, thank you so much for joining us. I have Casey on the call today. Thank you, Casey, for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So, Casey has been a Your Best Self participant as well as a recipient of Emotion Code and Body Code services from me, and she's had some great successes. So, just wanted to chat with her. So, Casey, what led you, first of all, I guess, what led you to the Your Best Self courses?
I actually got led to them by my cousin who had already had some success with Amanda, and I was going through a very tough time trying to figure out what was going on with me, and I was all over the place, and I thought at this point I will try just about anything else. I've tried everything else, so that's kind of what happened.
Yeah. So you were just at that place that you were just ready, um, kind of needing a change in pace, change in scenery, get some extra help. So what kind of outcome did you get from the Your Best Self courses?
The Your Best Self course, I absolutely love. I have always been one that tracks everything, that thinks certain things have to go a certain way, macros galore, and for a long time that worked perfect. And then it did not work because there was a lot of other things, excuse me, outside of my body that were causing that to not work the way that it should. And so the Your Best Self course helped me understand with a God like purpose of why we eat and how we fuel our bodies and why it's okay to only eat when you're hungry, not 3 times a day like everyone else says we're supposed to.
So how is that? Because you are a serious athlete. How was that? How was that process?
It was hard. I was still I was still tracking, even though I was only eating when I was hungry.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that has gotten to be something super important for me, and that change. And with all my different like food allergies and sensitivities and just how life is, like it was just like I don't know if I can let go of that. But I'll have to say I really haven't tried anything in months. Every now and then I'll kind of go just to kind of see what I'm actually eating for the day, um, but not necessarily for purposes of calories and macros like it used to be.
So what has that been like to go from tracking every single food and substance to not? What's that like?
Very freeing is the best way to put it. But it also like you still have to be aware. Like I guess that's the thing. Like you can't go and just be like, well, I'm not that, or just different things like that. Like you learn through the course what the better choices are, as well as, um, like I said, just eating when you're at zero, not when you're a five.
Sure. Sure. We talk in Freedom Living, the verse in the New Testament where it talks about everything is, I think it's permissible.
Mhm.
Now I'm gonna mess that verse up. Everything is permissible, but not everything is something. Bas- Basically, just because it's a free for all, just because we're hungry, doesn't necessarily mean that we should just go eat foods that we know are gonna make us sick or make us gain weight. Um, so, being an emotion code and body code client, what has that been like for you?
That has been amazing because at first I was just like, I'm not so sure about all this. Like, it's very different and you really have to think kind of outside the box, but you have to believe in it and trust it for it to really have major effect. And for me, I'm so busy all the time. Like, I've learned that I have to make like a session when there's nothing going on. Because if not, then I can't focus on what's at hand. But it's been quite interesting. We all know that like my liver is always very sick for some reason, and it's funny because with all the testing and things that have been going on with me lately, it's just showing me that it for real is. And so that has been very interesting just to know that it works. And after a session, how much better you feel. It's just amazing.
That's great. That's great. What would you say if there's anyone out there who's been kind of on the fence, either for the Your Best Self courses or just getting the individual emotion code, body code sessions? What would you say to them?
I would say it's okay to be on the fence for a little bit, like to not know, because it's an investment. But
Hmm.
the best investment you can make is in yourself. And if you think it's something that you could benefit from, which I believe most people can, I say give it a try. Just see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah. Give it a try. I love that you came in. I love when people come in questioning. That's how I questioned at first. I sat on it for a year of, I don't know about that. Like, does that line up with the Bible?
Yes.
What is that? I just don't know. I read the book several times through before becoming open. So I love when people actually come in questioning and skeptical, and does this line up with my belief systems? Is this something for me? I personally tell people, if you're on the fence, wait and follow peace, because if you're really meant to get the services or take the class, you'll know, because you won't be able to stop thinking about it. So I love that you came in with that mindset and heart. So, well, thank you, Casey, for joining me and giving your testimony. Anything else you'd like to say before we get off?
No, I think that's good. But I just, if you think that you're interested or in either any of these courses, I say give it a shot because it could be life changing for you.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Casey.
Thanks for having me.